I feel like the kitchen is the center of our homes, so how can we make them functional and easy to use? Well, the key is to declutter regularly the items that you do not use, and to make any adjustments on how you organize it so that it functions well for you. Today, I'm going to be doing just that in my kitchen. While I feel like I don't have a lot to declutter, I know that there are things lurking in there that I don't use regularly. I am always surprised at what I can find. So I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks with you today. I really hope that you find it helpful and useful. Right off the bat, I can see something here that I don't use. I got these dishes last year, and I thought we would love these pasta dishes, but we don't. We don't use them. They're way too big. I'm gonna keep 4 of them. I'm not willing to totally get rid of these and donate them, so I probably will take them downstairs into my food storage where I keep some of the kind of time will tell items that I'm not 100% sure about. If I don't use them within the next year, then I definitely am going to be donating them. The only mugs that we only use sometimes are these little Christmas ones. Now this one is not supposed to go in the dishwasher, but that's what we do. So you can see it's starting to crack. I think it's time for this one to go. So I'm just gonna get rid of that one. So there you go, that cupboard is done. Okay, and here I keep my small appliances. I do use all of them, but this right here is kind of a pain, because if I want to use my rice cooker, which I use often, I have to move the crock pot in order to get it out. And then the door doesn't close, so then I have to move it again to put this back. Now I have a crock pot, but I also have an Instant Pot, and it does have a slow cook setting on it. I haven't actually tried it for slow cooking yet. I'm gonna take it downstairs and put it in my time will tell and see if I end up missing it. I'm gonna use this one for the slow cooker. I don't use this griddle a ton, but we use it and there's space for it, so I keep that. I use the waffle maker. I use my Bosch all the time. Love it, love it, love it. I will leave a link down below if you're interested. I know a lot of people haven't heard of a Bosch mixer, but it's amazing. You should give it a try. So I'm gonna take this out. Again, I have to move this. And already that feels better. And actually, I'm pretty short. I'm up on a stool here. So when I'm standing on the ground, it's really hard for me to reach the waffle maker. So I'm gonna move this and put it right there. That will be a lot easier to access. I don't use this immersion blender very often. Usually I just use it when I'm canning spaghetti sauce. So I think I'm just gonna put it up here. We also don't use this very often. I think I'm also gonna put that up here if it will fit. That might be kind of a pain, but I'm gonna give it a try. We're gonna see how we like that. It's really simple. There you go. One of the spots in our home that can tend to get very cluttered is our kitchen table. Now for me, the way that I kind of keep it cleared off is I don't put any decorations on it. I just leave it empty. Otherwise, if I had something else on there, I think it would be super easy for me to just pile stuff on. And with that, today I'm going to be decluttering several chairs at my kitchen table. And they have served us very well, but one specifically has totally fallen apart. The spring has come out at the bottom. It's been ripped and shredded and stained, and I'm just kind of done with it. So we decided that we wanted to get some new kitchen chairs. And we bought these 2 head chairs at a store by us called Living Spaces. Lubona reached out to me and offered to let me try 2 of their kitchen chairs. These are called the Windsor dining chairs, and I actually am very impressed with the quality. So my deal is that I would like to test out the product first, because I do not want to recommend anything to you that I wouldn't recommend to my family, my sisters, my best friend. So I wanted to make sure that I liked it before I recommended it to you. We decided to buy 2 more chairs to make a set of 4, 2 on each side of the dining table. And it actually works really well for our kids. They are a little bit small. My husband actually didn't really love them for him. He wanted something comfortable, like these chairs that we got. So we decided to get 2 different head chairs for our table. But I'll just tell you a few things that I really like about these Lubona Windsor chairs. They're very sturdy, they're solid wood, they're well made, they were really easy to assemble. It took me maybe 15 minutes to assemble both chairs. All you have to do basically is attach the legs to the bottom of the chair. I like how it has a little padding on the bottom of the leg so that your floor doesn't get scratched up. Shipping was really fast. It came right to my door in this nice size box. It was easy enough for me to be able to carry it inside. So if you are interested, you might want to check out their quality indoor and outdoor furniture on their website, lubona.com. They have several pieces that I'm actually really interested in, and they have offered a discount to you. If you want to get 15% off your purchase, you just need to enter the code ALLIE15 when you're checking out, and that is ALI15, ALLIE15. to get 15% off your entire order. Because our big chair was broken at the end of the table, we had to take one of our accent chairs to use as a dining chair for a little while. And we have decided to actually upgrade those accent chairs as well because I am pretty tired of the chevron pattern. So we replaced it with these chairs here in the living room, which we have really enjoyed. So I'm going to be decluttering those 2 chevron chairs in addition to the 6 chairs that we had at our table as well. And I just wanted to mention really quick that this video is not sponsored by Lubona, but they did send me these 2 chairs to try out for free. This is my baking cupboard, kind of. I have more baking supplies in here, but this is more of the tools that I use. This gets a little bit disorganized. It's not a big deal. Let me just kind of rearrange this a little bit again. I love these containers. I will leave a link down below also if you're interested in them. I use them for flour, brown sugar, powdered sugar, Splenda, and just regular sugar. I'm just gonna put them back kind of how I had them. I do have to move them in and out to get to them, which is fine. The ones that I use the least are probably gonna be in the back here. We don't use powdered sugar a ton, but we use brown sugar more often. And Splenda is not used very often either. Put that right there. So that works okay. It's still a little bit crowded. Down here, I use all of these. I have a couple of each kind, like I have 2 cup and 2 1 cup, but I actually really like to have that many because I use them often. And my measuring cups. Now we do cook and bake a lot, so I do like to keep 3 sets. I probably don't need that many, but I actually really like having 3. This is where I keep most of my baking supplies in here. This cupboard definitely needs a little bit of love, so I'm just gonna start here on the top. And here I keep food coloring, and in fact, this food coloring is pretty old. I'm gonna actually dump these out of the box. Yeah, I'm gonna keep these until I can replace the colors that are in here. So there's all that. I'm gonna just kind of stick this back. Now back here, I have some pans here that I don't use a ton, but we use every once in a while. This one for cheesecake, and this one is in pretty good shape. I know there's one up here that is not. We use this for angel food cake. We did use this one for angel food cake, but it doesn't have a removable bottom like this one does. So I like this one better. I think it's time for this one to go. Oh, and this is a nice one too, actually. This is probably the one I use more often. It's heavy duty, so I'm gonna definitely keep that. These all just nestle nicely together. These shelves also really need a good wipe down, but today I'm just trying to get decluttered and organized. These needed to be used up a while ago. They're expired, but we can still use them. Well, Best Buy doesn't mean they're expired. We don't really make cake very often. We make brownies, but they're homemade brownies. That's why we haven't really used these brownie mixes. Let's see what we got in these. I decided to buy a bunch of cocoa powder at Winco. I bought way too much, but that's okay. I'll use it up. I just bought these marshmallows. These are almost gone. Kids ate them. So I actually have a container here that I did use for random chocolate chips. I'm just gonna stick them in here. There's only, like I said, a few. But I also have this little bag of mini chocolate chips. I'll stick that in there. Sorry for my shaky hands. They're extra shaky today. I'm not sure why. I bought this with good intentions. Now I can't even remember what the intentions were for. I think I was gonna make those little Brazilian cheese breads, and I never got around to it. So I actually think that I'm probably just gonna toss this. I know it's wasteful, but I don't know how long it lasts. I don't know how long I've had it, and it's super easy to replace. So I'm gonna get rid of that. Now these cocoa flakes, I haven't used these in a long time. I don't know how long these last. They just don't seem to last very long, and I don't use them very often. I think they're dried out, so I'm gonna toss those. I have a little fruit fresh left, but I have another container here, so I'm just gonna pour it into here. And I love using turntables in these because of the narrow front and the wide back. It's super hard to get in and out, and then also, again, being short, it's kind of hard for me to reach, especially back here in the back. Now I'm gonna just look through this really quick. This is a special dark, but I actually think I'm just gonna combine these because I can see that this one is 1/4 of the way full. And this one's about half full. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and combine them. I don't really care that one's a special dark. All right, I'm gonna just put these back up. So there, I think that's a little bit better. Here I keep most of my cooking oils. My stove is right next to this, so it's super easy to access. I would highly recommend that you put them right next to your stove if possible. So I'm just gonna make sure I use all of these. Oh, this is an extra balsamic vinegar. That's why I have it behind this one until that one's gone. Okay, this is my spice cabinet. This is just a few extra things to refill some of my spices. So I have like onion powder, Italian seasoning, which I probably could fill that up actually. Yep, I'm gonna fill that up, and sesame seeds. All right, I had to quit early yesterday, so I'm just gonna quickly try and go through this. I don't need to declutter anything from this. I know I use all of these. I can't fit them down on these turntables down here, so I keep them in these little bins up here. And I do keep them in alphabetical order, just so they're easier to find. For my spices, I think I just want to do a kind of a quick little reorganization. I'm pretty sure I use all of these. So again, I do alphabetical order. If I have any back here in the middle, they're either ones I don't use very often, or they're extras of like the other one in front. And I do have some big refillable ones that I can use to fill these up. And then I try and keep track of what I need to get. And I do need more chili powder. I'm gonna write that down. It's nice and organized, alphabetical order. I didn't really have anything to declutter except for one that I combined. Okay, these are my cookbook. This kind of gets messy all the time. I'm pretty sure there's a few things here I can declutter. So I'm gonna grab those. Let's see, I know this needs to go. We got rid of the pan that went to that. I don't use that. Here's the thing, I really haven't used several of these like at all. I haven't used a single recipe out of this. I don't even know how long I've had it. Oh, I had it. Probably came with my Instant Pot when I got it. So, and that was years ago. So I'm gonna get rid of that. And for me, recipes, I actually don't use a ton up here. I only use like the tried and true ones from my mom's cookbook. And I have like 3 favorite cookbooks. That's really it. Still think I might keep this. My kids like to look through it sometimes and pick some from there, but I really think that I'm only gonna keep one of those. I know that this one got used. This is where it gets a little tricky because I don't know. I think I'm gonna hang on to these actually. I'd rather have them look at cookbooks than look for recipes online anyway. This one I think I'm gonna get rid of. I'm gonna keep this one instead. They're very similar. Those are 2 of my favorites. I don't even know what this one goes to. I think we got rid of that one a long time ago too. So actually I'm gonna get rid of that one. That works better because now it's gonna hold up the cookbooks a little bit better. And this one, these are my husband's vitamins. I'm just gonna leave those and not even worry about those. I don't get into that at all. These are mostly extra seasonings or big ones like this that just don't fit into the little ones over here. So let me just go through this real quick, and I might take some of these to refill the other ones. All right, I've refilled everything that needs to be refilled, so I'm just gonna stick these back. We do use taco mix a lot. And I actually am gonna put this sea salt right here. Okay, this cupboard gets into a lot. This is where we keep our salt and pepper shakers. This is just a little bit of coarse gray sea salt that I've never opened before. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and toss it. These keep falling over. I'm gonna look through these. A couple of things I'm gonna get rid of here. This is basically gone. There's like a drop in this one, so I'm just gonna toss that. And this one I used maybe once. I don't even remember when. It was a long time ago. There's not a whole lot in there, but I know I'm not gonna use that again, so I'm gonna toss that. So these are really the only 2 that I want to keep. I might put them in the cupboard that I already have the vanilla and almond extract in, so I'm gonna see if I can fit them over there. All right, it feels almost weird having all this empty space down here. That's okay. All right, this cupboard is a little tricky because it's basically a fantasy self cupboard. I got into cake baking a little while ago. It was fun for a little while, but I'm not into that anymore. Sometimes I'll do it, but I really actually haven't for the past at least year. I need to go through this and decide what I'm gonna keep, what I'm gonna get rid of. I don't know. This is gonna be a hard one. I got this cake topper for a specific reason and we ended up not using it, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay, I've taken out all the cake baking stuff. The rest I need to deal with. This is huge. It's just way too big. It is a little cupcake holder that you can expand and have several layers of cupcakes. I do use it once in a while. I think I'm gonna see if I can fit it downstairs. I haven't used this in a long time. It's just sitting up here collecting dust, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Oh, you know what? I should put this with the Christmas decorations. I'm gonna do that. So I do use all of these platters. I'm determined to make this fit because I do want to keep it. That works actually. And these are really nice cake pans. I'm gonna just put them right here. I think that works much better. I can actually get into everything. All right, down to the bottom cupboards and drawers here. Let's see if there's anything I can declutter out of here. I did try this from IKEA and I actually really don't like it, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Actually, I don't use that anymore. Now I did replace these steak knives. I'm probably just gonna get rid of those too. I use everything in this drawer here and it's pretty well organized, so I'm just gonna keep it as is. So this drawer, I actually did recently just do a few things. We bought some new towels and washcloths. Our old ones were getting pretty gross. I could probably still get rid of a couple of these though, actually. Okay, that works. This drawer is pretty empty. We just keep a couple of lunch boxes. One kid is homesick today. This one is an extra one in case they leave it at school. A few paper bags that we use. Just gonna stack those, use those every once in a while. I'm gonna leave this as is. We just have one more lunch box that needs to go in here. That's it. All right, the junk drawer can be gone through real quick. I actually don't really keep these, I just donate them. I kind of get tired of having these around when I get too many. This one has no eraser and no lid. That's garbage. I'll take these to my office. Okay, this drawer is a little bit scary. I bought a box of straws, smoothie straws, but this is way too many to fit in here. I'm just gonna put the extras in a Ziploc bag and put them probably down in the drawer down here because I don't have a lot of stuff in there. This hasn't really worked for a long time, and I think I changed the battery and it still didn't work, but I'm gonna double check. So I'm gonna try a battery in this. If it doesn't work, then I'm just gonna donate it or throw it away if it doesn't work. Drawer's still a little more full than I want it to be, but these straws will get used up. One of my utensil drawers, most of this stuff is for baking. I do use all of these. This can go up in my cake making stuff. This one too. I'm just gonna keep this little one because I do use that for smaller things down here every once in a while. So all of that I use. This is pretty well organized and decluttered already. Okay, more utensils. I'm pretty sure I use all of these. Nothing to declutter out of this. Okay, I do like to keep my measuring spoons right next to my stove. Makes it so much easier when I'm cooking. I bought this from IKEA too. I don't use it very much. I maybe have used it once. I don't know. But it's useful, right? This one I don't think I'm ready to let go of this one yet. So I'm gonna keep that. And I know this is kind of an unorganized mess of measuring spoons. I do use a lot. They could be more organized. I could put these back, stack them up. Maybe I'll do that. And I actually really like these for that reason. I just have to be able to do better at keeping them that way. I'll link that below as well. That still works for me. So I'm just gonna keep that like that. I also like to keep my hot pads here next to the oven. I just have these three. I have a little scraper here for when I'm cleaning off my stove. Okay, this cupboard I use for water bottles and just the kid plastic cups. I have recently decluttered this. It's really hard to keep this organized and looking nice because it's so deep. You know what? These actually are for school lunches. I'm actually gonna go put these by the lunch boxes. That makes more sense to me. There's plenty of room over there. Now down here is another story. This is an area that I've really struggled with because it's really hard to keep it organized. If you have any great ideas on how you think I can organize this a little better, we probably could get rid of some more water bottles. I did just recently do that in a recent video of mine. Just check back there and see if there's anything else that I can get rid of. I don't think we need that one. We really don't use these kinds. I'm gonna get rid of that. My daughter has a new one. I'm gonna ask her if I can get rid of that. I think it will be okay for me to get rid of that one. Okay, now that I can see what I have down here, it's a little easier to decide what I'm gonna keep. The problem is that we often find water bottles in random places, like in the car. So that's why I end up with so many. This one, there is no lid for it. I'm gonna get rid of that one. Don't need that. Get rid of that. Don't really need another extra lid. And I don't need that. Put these back. It's a little crowded, but oh well, that works. This is just a narrow little cabinet that I keep all of my baking sheets in. The only thing that I haven't used is I bought these and I haven't opened them to put them in yet. I'm actually going to just take these out right now and wash them and put them into my oven so that they're out of the way. That works fine. That's okay. I'm gonna leave that. I've really liked having these little containers that you can get at Target to put my lids in. It keeps them pretty organized as long as they get put back there. I'm also just gonna make sure that I have the right amount of lids to the right amount of Tupperware bottoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, got put in the wrong spot. There they are. 7. This is getting a little bit messy here. Okay, a lot of these I actually keep for making jam. I have a spot downstairs in my food storage room where I keep those. So I'm gonna take these all downstairs. I do keep containers like these to give to neighbors when I'm giving them some food or dinner or whatever. Again, I keep these containers and just wash them and use them for giving food away. These are also to give food away. I'm gonna keep all of these up here. put them back and take the other ones downstairs. All right, I think that works okay. I'm gonna leave that like that. Okay, this is where I keep most of my pots and pans, and I know as of right now looking at here, I don't need to declutter anything. We just bought a new pan. We replaced it with one that was just worn out and I wanted a new one, so we got that. So the other one is gone. And then I have my bread machine here. I put it here so that I would try to make bread more often, and I don't really as much. I still want to keep it here. And back here I also have my wheat grinder. I put them there so that I could use them, but I actually went to go make bread the other day and it wasn't working. I'm gonna try to fix this. If we can't fix it, then I guess it's gonna go. I'm not decluttering anything out of this cupboard. All right, this cupboard is where I keep my baking dishes, and I also think that there's not a lot for me to get rid of in here. There's possibly one or two things. I could get rid of these, but you know, if I didn't have space and they were taking up space, I'd probably get rid of a couple of these because I have 5 plus the 3 up in my other cupboard. I don't know why it's hard for me to want to get rid of those, but I want 3 if I made a 3-layer cake that was that bigger size. So nothing out of here. And here I keep our pitchers. I probably have, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't really use all of them. We usually use the plastic ones, but the glass ones I'd like to keep for nicer serveware. Again, I have enough space. I'm not gonna worry about that, so I'm gonna just keep those. I have these 2 and then 1 more in the dishwasher, so I only have 3 cutting boards. I did just declutter a bunch in one of my latest videos there, so I'm not getting rid of anything in there either. This is a spot that I wish I had a little better way to organize. Really don't like having the garbage can here, but I also don't want it sitting out, and we don't have anywhere else to put it. In the back here, I just keep an extra box of garbage sacks, and then I have a little container here. Again, these are the Target containers. Love these, and that's it. So I don't need to declutter anything under here. I did just have an idea that I wanted to try. I'd have to get another one of these. This is narrow, so I'm wondering if I could put some of that stuff in here. Okay, I actually don't use that. I'm gonna get rid of that. This one can go. Actually, it's a good thing I went through this again. Bunch of stuff in here that can get thrown out. All right, that actually fits basically all of it. And now it's easier to fit. And now I have more space. Put my garbage can back and it's not so crowded. I'll need to get another one of those for the garbage sacks, but for now, it's just gonna sit there. Okay, this is my knife drawer, and this also feels a little bit cluttered, but yeah, I use every single one of these items in here. Again, I don't need to clutter anything from here. I just barely organized this and went through this. Now I know this isn't really kitchenware, but this is in my kitchen. Back in the corner, the dog stuff. So I love this dog feeding station. Inside is where we keep her food. I'm just gonna kind of dig through this. I haven't looked through it in a long time. There's probably stuff in here I could get rid of. She might come running. Oh, she's gonna come running because she might hear the leash and think that she's going for a WALK. Sorry, girl. No, this was when she was training. I don't really use that. I'm gonna get rid of that. This leash we don't use. Get rid of that. I'm gonna get rid of that. That hurt. I don't know what I was doing with that. This one's kind of sharp. Oh, that's a toothbrush thing. Actually, I'd rather use this than this. That's gonna go. Okay, Roxy, you gotta move, honey. This was for training. I never really used it. So I think I'm just gonna get rid of that one too. Another toothbrush. This one's gonna go. That's a clicker. I didn't really use it. Toothpaste. I don't know. Does this expire? Yeah, that's expired. Best Buy. I don't know. Do you know if dog toothpaste expires? It says Best Buy, but that was over a year ago. I don't know. What do you think? I'm gonna keep it for now, but you tell me if I should just throw it out. You know, I have a vacuum right here. I'm just gonna vacuum the house. It's gonna drive me crazy. It's a little bit better. Got a nice little pile of stuff to declutter. I was able to get a surprisingly good amount of stuff out of my kitchen today. Now that your kitchen is decluttered, go ahead and click on the video here to get ideas on how to organize it. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to spend with me. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.